That occurred to me. We are
Apologies for
all
a short delay. I was looking at something because it actually did intrigue me about like how to change level on character sheet. I'm gonna get back to that.
I've been trying to figure it out myself, and I have yet to figure it out.
Give me 30 seconds. My laptop's dying, and I forgot to plug it in.
Oh,
I know that feeling. My computer literally dies in 30 seconds if I don't have it plugged in.
oof.
In reality, it's more like 30 minutes, but that's not much better. Okay, well you've already got a character made. That's fantastic. Or at least a name. You got a name and a dagger. I feel like it's about all you need in this world. A name and a dagger.
Okay.
Can do many things with a dagger.
Yes, you can.
So apparently on Reddit, hold on, where I can background trace now. Somewhere on character sheet, when you put your class, it's you change your class,
you know what?
Class level, not the level on character sheet. Apparently, it's under features. Yeah, class levels under features, and that will change
yes.
Thank you very much.
How do I pull up the character sheet? How do I pull up the sheet?
I think it's B.
Well, so if you got this like bar of things on the right hand side above the chat, like you have the chat and that's the leftmost thing. You want to go to the one that's 3 little people, right? You want to click on that and that'll take you to the menu with all the character sheets, and you open up the one that's labeled whoever you are.
I think I've already done that, but I don't know what to do. I may have messed up already.
Okay, I realized my button is C, not B.
I clicked on my name and set my color and then save.
No, that's not the character sheet.
Okay.
That's just like your little like player icon.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
How do I pull up the character sheet?
You go to the thing like all the way over to the right above the chat, the 3 little people. That's where you find the character
thank you.
sheets.
Yeah, I see it. All right.
And fun little tidbit on the sheet, like on like the very like top bar where it has like the options like close, the token pop out, yada yada. If you just like click and hold it, you can move it around, and if you double click that area, the sheet will minimize. So it lets you have your sheet open without having it take up like 80% of your screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's just a thing it's just a habit I developed from playing on Roll20. Foundry has some things that you can do. Foundry has like features where you can. I don't know if you have this module, but like you can access the important like features and things without even having to open your sheet. Which I'm not saying go get the module because I don't even know what it is, but but like yeah, it's just a. So from that. In that campaign where that is a thing, like having the sheet open doesn't really matter as much, but it might. So I guess back to the question of the day. What's everyone's thought processes on characters?
Yeah, and
what are we all thinking?
Yes, I'm just gonna interject for a moment because I wanted to throw at you a little bit, few pieces of information and few questions, because those questions might also change your ideas about characters. Or, well, considering that we are starting officially, then again, like, hello, thank you for, joining, hopefully for what will be not a train wreck, but enjoyable character-driven story. Hope it will work out well, and you won't consider this a waste of your time. And yeah, one of the things I put in, if you want to have like just general ideas how you may consider the character of your character, essentially. There's like one more thing regarding. I didn't put the information from LFG. I'm gonna copy it and add it later. But those are the things. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the type of person that creates thousands of pages of lore describing every little detail, but I think this might be like, small tidbits that might give you an idea of how things were, like regarding the character age, for example. That this world is actually not that old.
Oh my god. Okay, I thought you were going to send something in the Discord. You brought it up in Foundry. That's arguably cooler.
Yeah, I mean, there's a handout ready at Foundry, and I will try to keep, when it comes to like in-game information, I will try to keep it in handouts, because there's also a cool thing you can do that. You create a handout and then you can like drag it onto the scene, and if like player character sees the icon, they come up and click on it, it's like plays out that, oh, you found this piece of diary or a scroll, so it like allows like smooth transition, I believe. And that's one thing. The other thing I wanted to like at least partially deal with, I do have a couple of things. Obviously I might have forgot about something, but I did look at lists of like what people usually do during session zeros, like the checklist of what should be like mentioned and whatnot. So before like get properly into like character creation, if we can deal partially at least with that. So another handout should be visible to you, and essentially starting from point 1. I know I mentioned in the pitch that I consider like milestone leveling, partially because to like avoid too much bookkeeping on my end, but not. Yep, go ahead.
I would just want to say, I've literally never played in a campaign that did not use milestone leveling. So, I speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for anyone else's opinions. I don't know y'all's opinions, but in my opinion, milestone leveling, yes or no, that almost shouldn't even be a question. Yes, please. Milestone leveling. Because I don't think anyone wants to do the bookkeeping on EXP.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, that's completely fair. To be fair, the both Pathfinder campaigns I DM'd in English, they also were only like milestone because I was like too lazy to deal with bookkeeping. Right, so we have to deal with that. Okay, this might be a small thing, but I did seen it like mentioned, and I imagine it's better to deal with this now instead of later. Actually, sorry. It's also like past midnight, I think. So when we're doing milestone leveling, I think the third question it loses its relevancy because, well, something relevant happens to you, something important, we achieve that milestone per se, and then I declare that, yeah, you did enough to gain a level up. So regarding point 4, I don't recall who was it, but I do remember one person specifically was very much arguing for using stat blocks. Maybe that was Bess, I might be remembering wrongly. So
yeah, that would be me.
Okay, as I said, this is not the hill I'm willing to die on. I'm perfectly fine with whatever option you guys prefer. If the party as a whole wants to use stat blocks, that's fine by me. Unless you have like another like option that I do not know about and you want to use.
I'm good either way, personally. I've made characters using stat blocks. I've made characters using rolled stats and
Sorry, the whole thing it was either stat blocks or the point buy system.
Oh, yeah, I'm not against point buy, but I've never used point. Well, I've used point buy exactly once. So that would probably, like I said, I'm not against it, but out of the three options of rolling, stat block, or point buy, that one's probably the lowest of the three for me. I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not a fan of point buy. I like either rolling or if the DM has some stat blocks that I could choose from, I'll take that.
I will say my personal favorite way to go about stats is probably rolling for it, but not like just go on, just roll for it, hope for the best, but like do it in such a way where like it's safe.
It's like
a like
3D,
the 3d6 keep one or keep the highest. No, what was it?
3d6 keep highest 3.
Well, it'd have to be more than 3d6 because
I think the heroic.
I think it's like 4d6.
The standard is 4d6. Drop 1. Drop the lowest.
Yeah, drop the lowest. Thank you. It's been a long time since I've had to do it, but generally, from my experience, that's my preferred way of doing it. But I'm with you. It's not a hill I'm willing to die on.
Like,
wait, what the hell?
I'm just willing to die in general.
This is an example of stat blocks that I really like when it comes to options that the DM gives you. You get the specialist, you get the madman, and you get the razzle dazzle. That means all of the stats are the same.
So if I did this right, this should.
Fine with that.
Hmm.
Yeah, and also at the very least in Pathfinder, those like the heroic option of rolling for attributes, which was 2d6 plus 6, so you couldn't get lower than 8.
That's kind of nice. The heck is the madman? Oh, the madman just has a bunch of odd numbers. Go figure. The razzle dazzle. Holy crap, that's a lot.
Hold on, I blanked out. What do the numbers mean?
It's an example for.
There are standard
stat blocks.
array instead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we're trying to decide how about it we're gonna go do stats.
Okay.
I'm of the opinion that we could just, let everyone do their thing. Like if Bez wants to do like a stat array, let him do it. And for those who want to do that, and for those who want to roll, just let them roll for it. Like I feel like it's something that doesn't deserve too much debate, if that makes sense. I feel like there are a lot of things that we could get into a lot of more important debates about.
I mean, if that's how you want to do it, that's fine. We don't have to do this uniformly. That's how usually happened, but again, whatever option you want to pick, I guess it works. So
Can't wait for my character to not trust anything.
It is a death world.
Yeah, that stands to reason. That's a big checklist. I only just now realized that we could scroll down and there's a lot of items to go over.
This will be very, very short question. Hero points, yes or no?
I don't know what
I have no idea what hero points
I have no idea what those are.
I'm guessing they're like the skill points that are in D and like D20 modern.
From what I read,
like
the hero points essentially is that you use it and you can add, like it's kind of like a.
It's a funky bless or guidance.
Yes, something like that, or like bardic inspiration.
It's usually like a D6 or something of that sort.
But considering most of you don't know it, I don't think we need to add it to complicate the situation.
Yeah, I see no reason to overcomplicate something by adding in these hero points.
All right.
Are we starting with any features?
Level 2.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
we're starting at level 2, so whatever features you have at level 2, those are the features you have.
I should probably have looked at my goddamn character's handbook. And
that was the time essentially to do it, or like then later between sessions.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
before we get too far on that, I'm gonna post in general. This website is like just the resource I use. I put it in the Discord general chat. This website is just what I use to look at anything like related to D&D. It's got literally everything you could want to look at. You know, it's got the classes, it's got the subclasses, it's got the races, it's got the feats, it has everything you could want to look at, and then some more. This is my workaround because I'm cheap as shit and don't want to buy the expensive Dungeons and Dragons books.
Noting that is causing everything to slow down for me, so I'm gonna a while.
Understandable. I am also like other page I'm using is like 5e tools from time to time.
Yeah, 5e. I don't think I've used 5e tools, but like I respect it for what it is.
Okay. In terms of hit points, how do you guys want it to be? Like, do you want to roll for every level? Do you take maximum for every level?
I'm of the opinion that I would want to roll, but then like take average if it's below average.
Yeah, same.
I've not played D&D in years, so I do not know.
I mean, I'm fine. That's how I also like used it because yeah, it's like if you roll below average, you take average, and if you guys want to roll, then that's fine too.
That is just kind of how I would prefer to go about it. Roll and then take average if it's low.
All right. Any particular opposition against that, or?
No, I don't have any complaints for that.
All right. So, roll. If below average, take average. Why is that? Okay. Question of inter-party conflict PvP. I'm gonna give my pitch. I'd rather not this happen, partially because I don't think I'm good enough to handle it with enough care and professionalism, and also because while Bess and Core played together, most of us are like, kinda new group, and I think potential like hard conflict might be interesting for role-playing perspective, but like down the line when we are tried together as a group and we know what we can expect from one another.
I'm of the opinion that I would just prefer no inter-party conflict in any way, shape, or form. Like nothing serious. If we got a fighty person that's just like, hey, you want to spar for the fun of it, I think that's fine. But more than that, I've had some bad experiences with people that are just like, okay, if you don't agree with me, then I'm just literally going to fight you. I've had to kill another PC before because he went off the rails. Of course, that player had some mental problems as well, but that's beside the point. I would just prefer to not, but I'll default. Like if I'm outvoted, I'm not going to complain.
I mean, as I said, I'm with you on that point, Core. I mean, some conflict, like discussion of like viewpoints, philosophies, is like fine. You don't have to be, like echo chamber, agree with another or everything, but like keep it below the point of like open conflict, like so that no fight breaks out. If I'm trying to like get across my point. I'm not sure if you
I
understand.
think we get the point. Good role play is fine, but probably not let it extend past that.
Yeah, like character friction is good, but actually like going past that is a no.
Oh, also I didn't write that down, but I know this type of players can like be. Also, try maybe not to do like stealing from another PC thing.
Oh no, that's literally an unspoken rule of D&D. Like, don't.
That happens. I didn't know that happens.
It happens. Believe you me, Bez.
I knew a friend's party who was completely destroyed because one player, like, the DM... Well, basically, he talked to the DM where he's like, I'm going to convince everyone to give me all of the treasure at the end. And apparently he succeeded, so every other player was just like, what the fuck? It's like, he didn't even need to steal. He just, like, convinced everyone to just give him everything.
Yeah, so I think we are like on the same page in that regard. So that's
like, I think we've all got different ways of phrasing it, but I think it's like a different method, same result type deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're all on the same page, I feel.
Yeah, the ground rule is no combat between players, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, on that point, friendly sparring. Like, if I were to just be like, you want to.
I mean, if there is a conflict and it's not something about infighting or fighting at PC versus PC, and it's just a different ideas of doing a plan or something, they can just at the party.
Yeah.
One side do one thing and the other side do another thing.
Right.
Yeah, so as long as we know that we are aware that the end goal doesn't ever reach like, oh, I will like kill this character. We don't do that.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Oh, no.
Okay, I know like when you like finalize your characters, we get into like nitty-gritty details. It's gonna be like more detailed. Speaking of party cohesion and more like the idea of like, oh, you meet in a tavern. I would like, my idea is that when we like go through like proper character creation, is that I think it's actually more interesting if like the campaign starts and the player characters already know each other. They don't have to like, everyone doesn't have to know every other single person, but some bond with like other PC. I think it makes for a more like interesting start instead of like going with this cliche of like, oh, you meet in a tavern, you have your first job and whatnot.
Right.
I will say I like the idea of that, but I've actually never got to experience that because most of my D&D campaigns I've played in have basically been some form of you meet in a tavern. Like, you've met all of these people for the first time. All right, you're my best friends now. Which isn't a complaint per se, but I'm agreeing with you that I think it would be more interesting and add more to the characters if like there maybe would be some like pre-discussed PC relations, I guess would be the right word.
Yeah, there's like some history, some bond, especially since considering this world, like, and the theme of this village, like united we stand, like probably maybe you have fought, you were like brothers in arms against like the encroaching darkness or something similar, especially since like most of the world is gone, it's dead. You don't have like next village that you can reach.
It quite literally is a small world. Everyone knows each other just because who else are you going to know? Everyone that's not here is dead.
That drunkard in the bar is a bastard.
Yeah, and that's also fair to say that like those who survive, not everyone is a saint, but they know what's at stake, what matters, and people like to survive after all.
Yeah.
Okay, so tentatively, as I said, we're gonna get into nitty-gritty details later down the line, but I'm gonna write down that we might go with the try to pitch the idea, see if the idea of like some character bonds.
Yeah. I think
I
we're
like
on the
that.
same page. It's like that would be cool, but it's something that we can't necessarily decide right now
Yeah,
because
just
most of
Yeah.
us don't have characters right now.
Yep.
okay.
Most of us just have like a name.
Yes,
I don't
That's-
even have that.
that's completely
So,
fine. And names
Believe
are
you
the
me, bud. Like
names are the hardest part of making a character. I heard so.
Oh.
you are not wrong. That is the facts right there. I've always been terrible with name creating.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just gonna call my character Pastor.
Okay.
Nice.
This is a thing that watching some of the videos from other, DM alumni, those who people that do this for living. Something about alignments in terms of like, it is a mechanic obviously that it says because some spells specifically target specific alignments. So from mechanical fucking hell, English please. From mechanical standpoint, obviously they're gonna like stay because this is like part of character making, and there are other mechanical things that respond to that, correlate with that. But like role-playing wise, if you want, I think like more flexibility, I guess.
Right.
Hold on, I'm trying to like get the. Because I have a vague idea what I want to say, but I'm currently blanking on like proper way of saying this. Okay, so I'm probably gonna approach this from this different directions. So, for example, part of character creation, you can like say or write down that for the purpose of mechanical things, your character counts of like lawful good or like neutral good or lawful evil, whatever. And that might be like a, like suggestion to you, like framework how you want to operate. But you don't have to feel ensnared by the alignment. Like you just like roleplay your character as you feel you would roleplay the character. And I'm not gonna be doing shit like, for example, even if you write down mechanically that you are a lawful good character, and for example you do stuff like, I don't know, you just
You have to kill someone.
cut off a leg of like a prisoner. I'm not doing stuff like, oh, I'm gonna change your alignment or I'm gonna give you like XP penalty or stuff like that. I don't do that.
Right.
So I'm just gonna. Okay. Regarding PC secrets, this is something I touched upon with one of the players, but actually, that's the thing. As a whole, because people beings are complicated creatures, and it's normal that we do have secrets. But that's the distinction. Like player characters, I'm fine with them having secrets, but does the same apply to players? Or like as a table, we all know that this character has a secret, but the other player characters do not know. Like, are you
I'm of the opinion that you as a player probably just know whatever your character knows. To give you an idea, like in the Discord server I'm in, where me and Bez play the same campaign, that GM does a lot of campaigns and they're all in that one Discord server. And I actively have most of the other chats in that Discord server muted because I don't want to know any of the goings on that in the world that my character doesn't know. So that's my viewpoint on it. So I guess just full on secret. But
that's you. I have all of them, well, most of them open, and I just control myself and don't do anything about that. I just keep myself and my character as my character. Influence from the other campaigns, don't do jack shit on my character.
So, up to the discretion of the players then? Or just secret?
To the player, I guess.
All right. And obviously, in accordance to what we declared previously, this is not something that, even if revealed, will result in PvP, because we know we don't do PvP, so that's doesn't.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna write down up to a player. Secret. Right. Alright, this is less about like deciding yes or no, just a reminder that I am just a mere human that doesn't do pro DMing for a living, so I tend to forget things, so I'm always happy that if you guys like remind me that I forgot about something, or just keeping me honest, I'm always fine with that. Just with the caveat that is written in the handout that in case like you give me a question that, hey, this ruling, there's like some questions about that, what is your opinion on that, and like if I give it, then that's my ruling, and we just move on to like avoid spending an hour on discussing about something.
Right.
If that's acceptable.
Sounds good.
Okay. Sorry. Another like small plea for me. Most of the times I will try to like keep myself like energetic enough to like pull for 3 hours. As I mentioned, like this campaign starts for me like at midnight. However, I cannot always promise that. Plus, even at 3 hours, we have 5 players. And I'll also admit, I don't want to lie, I will not claim I'm good with giving spotlight. I will try my best. But I wouldn't mind, I would appreciate if like in the back of your heads, when you have like a scene with someone, or not even an NPC, but just with other players, to have that in mind, how much like spotlight you have. So if you can like assist poor old DM with that. I will see if that's all right with you. Yeah, as for the campaign length, regarding what level we can reach, I want this to be more character driven instead of like, oh, DM has a like another world saving plot. So I'm really not sure. I doubt we will be reaching like really high levels, but I really do not have an idea like what sort of adventures we might get into like later down the line. Plus, we'll see how long the campaign will survive. On my end, I will try to, do my best to keep on going. I do not have many good things about me, but one thing I pride myself on is that when I start a project, I do my best to like keep it going, to ensure that it doesn't die out because of me. Okay, and now is the thing that actually it is a question to you, my dear players. How do we want to approach the issue of missing a player? Because sometimes, real life sucks and, a player has to miss a session. By default, do we want to like assume that if there's like one player missing, do we just go on with the session and that character is like a, in the background NPC for that session? Or how do you like feel about that issue?
I think it could be case by case, and like depending on the environment. If they can be left at a town that we know we'll return to, then we'll do that. Or if we're like traveling, they could be an NPC. But it also depends on whether or not what the others think, and if we'll even do the session if we have someone missing.
I also believe it would be dependent on the situation, because like if it's during an arc where someone's character would be really strong in, like it has to deal with their background and whatnot, I definitely feel like we should put it off for them.
I agree. I remember, this isn't the most relevant thing to talk about, but it's just a story that I feel like might be relevant. I remember playing in a campaign where we in the campaign, right, we went off to do a PC backstory thing, and we're all just like, all right, yeah, let's go, which involved us going to a different continent. All right, and the sailing was a whole session, because of, well, not a whole session, but like the latter half of the session we decided to do this just because sailing, and then we were going to come back next session having landed on the campaign, or landed on the continent. Well, in between sessions, the character whose backstory we were doing, his PC was just like, hey, I'm not going to play anymore, bye. So we had to do his character's backstory thing without him, and it was kind of awkward. So I'm of the same opinion where, like, if we really need this particular person and they're not going to be there, we should probably just hold off. But maybe if it's like the next session is probably going to be a bit more like chill or roleplay centric with like not a lot of major events happening, we might be able to go on. Case by case, very much so.
All right. Okay, so I wrote it down. Okay, inspiration. Not like bardic inspiration, but like general inspiration. I wrote down my like feelings on the matter, and not sure if you agree, if you like want to keep it, but yeah, it might cause an issue, like of isn't the question of who's your favorite child, essentially.
I have no opinions on this, so I'm just gonna let y'all go.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
I don't mind either way.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on it.
Are there rules of inspiration again?
Isn't it like if you have the inspiration, it like gives you like a free reroll of any d20 when you decide to use it?
Yeah, and usually it's awarded by a DM that, at the very least, I think that's like how it's written, that it's awarded because, like, I don't know, because DM liked your role playing and whatnot.
So in the campaign that Bez and I are both in, my character has had an inspiration die for like over half of the sessions we've played, because he gave me one, not super early on, but a while back, because of a particular roleplay thing I did, which was not necessarily accomplishing a goal, but like like working towards a goal-ish my character has. Bez, if you don't remember, it was me fighting Gallant. It was a sparring match. I got ragdolled, but it was something my character wanted to do. And I keep forgetting I have it, so I haven't used it. So, like I said, I've got no opinions. I could see where it could be strong if you or it could generate a little bit of ire if you dole out too many to one person. But I think if you, as the GM, be very particular about when you dole it out, I think it could be just fine.
I mean, if we can make something specific have inspiration, I guess the player does something unexpected or something that is kind of wild to make inspiration.
Hijacking that, in that case, I would rather, if I hear player character approaching problem from an interacting perspective, think outside of the box, applying rule of cool, I'd rather, instead of saying, oh, you get inspiration, I'd rather say, okay, that sounds fun, or rather that sounds good, that sounds, intelligent, however you want, adjective you want to use. Okay, I'm gonna say, okay, you roll with advantage.
That is probably a better way to handle it.
Yeah, that would be better.
Yeah, so that's rather how I would handle it.
Okay.
Okay. Regarding next point, might be surprised, but I think no one will protest too much if we play without critical fumbles. I don't think they are fun at all.
I agree.
Works for me.
What was that, Crow?
Works for me.
Okay.
My finger keeps slipping off the push to talk button.
No, sometimes I have, not only I'm blind, but also sometimes I have problem with hearing. I'm not really blind, but I do wear glasses, but yeah.
I've never used them before, so I'm okay with it.
Alright. So, yes, no fumbles. Okay, and this is actually something interesting regarding rest variants. Wasn't actually sure about that, but the settings for the D&D 5e system give me an option. So obviously you have the regular variant of rest, so long rest is 8 hours, short rest is 1 hour. You have grit realism version, which is very long and probably too tedious to bother. However, there's also a version called epic heroism, which is long rest 1 hour, short rest 1 minute. So
I think just
do you want to go with the standard?
Yeah, I think just bog standard long rest.
Yeah.
I think either one of those other two options can just skew the numbers way too much.
Alright. Standard rest variant. Completely fine by me. Right. Okay, so by default, obviously we're gonna stick with that nat 20 is always a hit, natural 1 is always a miss. Question, do we want to use that not only for attack rolls, but also skill checks, saving throws, so that nat 20 is always a success, nat 1 is always a failure, or...
I think just leaving it to attack rolls, personally.
Alright.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, just leave it to attack rolls.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of expected to get countered on that point. So the fact that both of you were just immediately just yes, I agree, and I'm just saying it's oh, okay then.
Okay, regarding points, because they're kind of double deal, points 19 and 20 regarding death. I will not lie, I sometimes, despite my best efforts, kinda overestimate or underestimate how difficult the encounter may be. And I know that losing a character sucks because it also takes time to build a new one. And especially in the last campaign that I did, I basically gave myself the ultimate safety net, just giving players essentially immortality to their characters. So yeah, as I wrote down, the question is, how do you like see the case of like character death? Because there's like one fun module. I think it has role playing potential if like your characters get scars and whatnot.
I mean,
like how do you like see it?
I mean, I don't want to literally be immortal just because to me, I feel like that takes away the stakes for any given combat. If we as players just know, we're never gonna die, so like, why should we have to be careful? You know, maybe be kind of selective with it though, because like, it would be really unfortunate, and I've done this before, so I would know if on your death saving throw you roll a natural 1 and then it's just like, oh great, oh fantastic, well I've got one more chance to not die, you know. So maybe I don't know, somewhere in the middle, I guess, where death is a possibility and just don't kill us outright.
I've only ever played in as death is death and there's no going back unless you somehow have a resurrection spell. But I read the thing and it was, let me reopen this. Oh, where was it? It was down here somewhere, I think. The lingering injuries thing, where if you go down, you take an injury and that stuff.
Yeah, so like for example,
Sorry, go ahead.
I might like show you like a test it out. So for example, you go down, they are not able to like heal you in time. You get like, let's say, 3 failed saving throws. So instead of dying, you get like, you know, surge of adrenaline because this is a very dangerous world, and you somehow in your soul you find that like this little spark that gives you like this like one chance of moving, like essentially like a small burst of temporary hit points. But you still get like lingering injury because this strike was really mighty that brought you down. So for example, yeah, you get that. So I roll Maxwell's Manual Malicious Melodies. So essentially this, actually hold on, label table, where is it?
I will say I do find the concept of lingering injuries fascinating because it's not something I've ever really thought of in any given game.
Actually, let's go with Necrotic, for example.
I'd imagine necrotic scars would be fucking terrifying to look at.
Oh god, yeah.
So yeah, for example, like, let's say, I think shadows deal necrotic damage. So yeah, shadow managed to break you down, you failed your saving throws, but the rest of the party is still up. So even if you fail all saving throws, you are able to get back up with like sliver of like strength. But you do get like, for example, this lingering injury that was rolled.
That's kind of cool.
Ooh.
I like that.
So,
yeah, I am a fan of this concept.
It also ties to the idea because so many people died and those who remain like united we stand, is that you operating as a team. Like this is very like Spartan, like you have to trust your brother in arm. So either all of you die against an encounter or none of you die. So you will always like push yourselves forward to like gonna save my brother or sister or them from death, and as long as there is like
refuse to let you die.
No man left behind. Yeets you off a cliff and then jumps.
Your life is in the hand of the person to your right.
mind you, the idea will be expanded in case you want to go with that. I will make like a separate handout. There will be like some like ideas, for example, like gambling idea that when you go down and like let's say you make a death save, like even before you make a death saving throw, you might say, okay, I will try to use it and basically gamble. And if you like roll low, you get back up, but you do get like the lingering injury. So like give a little bit of options and like play with it that when you get back up with like this using this lingering injury thing, is that you get temporary hit points, which fluff wise they're this like surge of adrenaline, this spark of light propelling you into action. Actually, I'm just gonna show you like one more because that was necrotic and just slashing is example this.
The blood belongs inside of your body. That's hilarious. I love that.
Yeah, I was worried that I would have to like make entire rollable table of lingering injuries because someone did make them, but someone make a specific module for that, which I'm very grateful for.
I would just like to mention real quick before we move on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Leg laceration, your speed is reduced to 10 feet, your injury lasts 1 day, but if you treat it with a DC 15 wisdom medicine check, it is reduced to 5 days.
By a week.
Yeah, it's what it is the like it rolls a 1d8 to determine the number of days it'll last, and then it rolls a 1d6 to determine the number of days you reduce it by. It's just with this roll we happen to get the injury only lasts 1 day.
Oh, it's reduced by 5 days. Oh, yeah, never mind. That makes more sense. I thought it said it's reduced to 5 days. I'm a little dyslexic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. I was also like, yeah, you probably onto something like, oh yeah, somebody made a mistake, but no. And then I reread it and yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so if I hear it right, so we can go with this idea for now, and obviously if it turns out that you guys feel that it actually kinda doesn't go well with your mood and you want to be more, to have like more risk, we can like definitely consider changing that. But I for one think that I think scars and the aspect of lingering injuries is interesting for sheer role-playing perspective.
Can you lose a limb to these lingering injuries?
Hold on.
It might just be really rare.
For the record, that's not going to dissuade me. That would make me like the system even more.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Actually, yes.
Prosthetic.
Yeah.
The worst one is sliced eye, and then there's severed limb.
Ooh.
Good.
And also severed appendage, whatever that.
Fantastic.
So yeah. Okay.
Wouldn't my character have to go back to its creator in order to get that fixed?
Are you like an automaton?
We would think of something.
I am a Warforged.
Sweet. That table probably doesn't apply to you.
No, Warforged are like bio-organic kind of things, if I remember correctly. As of the last 5e ruling, they actually have like blood and stuff.
Oh.
You're an android or cyborg, essentially.
Yeah, I was going off of the thing like I was a mechanical defense droid.
Yeah,
I made.
I always
Then
thought
your
just
blood
as
would
a
be like,
Warforged, you were basically
an
just
oil.
an automaton.
Yeah.
No, they're considered humanoids instead of like a construct. If they were a construct, then they couldn't get healed by cure wounds or anything.
Well,
yeah, you would have to like
that was
use
the ruling
mending.
was they couldn't get. I thought used to that was the thing was they couldn't get healed by cure wounds.
No, that was in UA.
Yeah, and in one of the older versions of it, I think.
Maybe 4th
I
edition.
thought
something.
Warforged was still UA.
No.
I haven't been
When
for
did it
like
get
2
printed?
years or something, like a while.
With the last Eberron, not the last Eberron book, but like the first one for 5e.
Yeah.
I actually bought it on D&D Beyond. I regret it.
Yeah, I don't blame you there.
I have the Book of Eberron somewhere.
But yeah, it came out of UA as at the same time as Artificer did.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, because I recall I double checked it, and yeah, they do not say anywhere that you cannot benefit from like cleric spells. The Warforged definitely can be healed through that. So
Right. Would mending not also work on a Warforged though?
No, they're
Okay.
considered humanoids. Yeah.
Right. All right.
Well, to me, I feel like that just takes away some of the flavor of playing a Warforged.
Well, I mean, you could definitely still play it in that automata style, but they would be more these like magical living creations. Think of it more like a metallic or rock homunculus.
I
Mhm.
feel like it's less that, and it's more like I feel like, oh, now they can just be healed by cure wounds like anyone else. Whereas before it's like, oh, you had to do it with mending. I thought that was really neat. And then now it's just, oh yeah, now we're just making them like literally everyone else.
Yeah, they're trying to make 5e simpler so that way they can get more people in on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's working, so.
to be fair,
Yep.
it is like every quarterly report on Roll20 was like, oh hey, about more than 50% or all of our games are D&D 5th edition.
This guy reminds me of what you're talking about, though. But,
I don't know who this guy is.
Oh, I remember that
Looks
guy.
like it's from Ben 10.
It's from Teen Titans.
From
the
Teen
original.
Titans.
Yeah.
Ew.
Damn, I should have known that.
I don't want to know then.
Yeah, that.
I missed that show so much.
It's good.
Never watched it.
Yeah, I did
Teen
watch it.
Titans was good. Teen Titans Go was horrible.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so regarding Session 0 checklist, the stuff that I wrote down, we went through all of it. Obviously, might have forgot about something, so in case you think there's something we need to talk about or like set right now, obviously feel free to mention it. And also, if you feel like if you have more questions regarding the world or want to like ask for more detail to let you feel the vibe, essentially, that's also fine.
I zoned out. We're supposed to be doing something.
No, we've made it through the whole checklist.
Okay, yeah, I heard that part. I thought we were doing something else now.
And merely asked, not that, but said two things. Like one, if you do recall, if we should do something regarding, if there's anything we should discuss or talk about, then feel free to say, because I might have forgot about something. And second thing, if you have any questions about the world or questions that can, make you have like a better idea about the backstory of your character, then also feel free to do so.
Oh, so about the 2 NPC thing, and we add a third one. Is that an option?
So
The
like,
backstory of the character.
I mean, okay, if you like want to only. Actually, sorry, because I thought you like the question is like instead of doing 2, you want only like introduce 1. If I understood you right.
And now, that if I could add a third one.
Third one. I mean, it's a possibility. Just like essentially, when thinking about your characters and NPCs, like consider the fact that either they are native to the village, to this hopeful Ember, or they have came from somewhere. But that means they either escaped from their own hometown being overwhelmed and destroyed, or maybe they were nomadic. Just you may think a little bit about their like origin. And speaking of NPCs, I do have maybe interesting, maybe not. I will let you be the judge of that, Crow, regarding your idea. I mean, assuming you will decide to stick with the idea of a knight or just like someone having servants follow with them, because I immediately thought of something when you mentioned like amnesia, being a champion and having a servants, but I'm not sure if
I might go with that. I'm going to see what the other party has in store before I pick anything solid, because if we don't have enough support, I could definitely go support. So
I will just mention, because I know like I'm gonna say that instead of like keeping this like a fun surprise, I'm gonna spoiler the surprise to ensure that if I use this idea, you'll be fine with it. So what I thought is that maybe not mention like the source of amnesia, but essentially your servants would be your figments of imagination. Like sure, you would be
that would be really funny, yeah.
you would be seeing them doing stuff and they would be speaking to you, but in truth you would be doing like things. Yeah, you like the figments of
Schizophrenic knight.
And yeah, that would tie into your
I want to go with that.
Being a knight, and probably I would like have background regarding like potential quest of, hey, if I was a knight, did I have a castle or served in a castle?
Oh, and a thing that I want to say is that I may have used Foundry in the other campaign, but I still don't know how to put in the info around the sheet.
Okay, you already named your character, Bess?
I already named the character. I added some attributes that's still not finished yet. I don't know how to add the features.
Okay, so is it Aubrey or Belina?
Aubrey.
Okay, so obviously unlock it. Some of the features, assuming they are not homebrewed, they are like within the game. So for example, let's say instead of like new backgrounds, hold on, how I can
Rand.
so like add, no, hold on. Oh, there was a thing for this. Hold on. Edit item. Example.
I am going to be right back. I'm gonna go use the restroom.
Oh, okay. So instead of like adding and having to like this describe everything, what do you like? What would you? What? Sorry, cannot speak English again. What would be your background? Just
Ground.
to give an example. Like thief.
I think that works.
Guess a criminal spy would be a better option for me.
The question is, did I put? Oh, right. Forgot that the modules for SRD do not have like backgrounds. Okay, so sadly, this thing I thought about will not help. However, for example, like I deleted the rogue class you added. Instead, what I'm doing is that you see the spyglass, not the spyglass, but like the searching glass right below the level 1. So I click on that, a window pops up, and I then type in rogue, and it allows me to pick